Hello, it's Scott Manley here, and I am playing Kerbal Space Program 0.19. Now, because of the release happening at an unfortunate time for me, I never really got to have just a general, as we say, muck around with the new game. They added all this stuff, and I was very, very busy taking care of 5 children this weekend. And they were fun in their own ways, but they didn't really understand space science. Neither do I, of course. I just make this stuff up as I go along, which is why I'm going to try and fly this this sky crane, which is beautifully designed and comes with the game. Unfortunately, it needs a parachute on top, as I discovered. If you drop it from a high height, it does want to go head first into the ground. But I'm going to try maybe flying it and see if I can land it somewhere embarrassing. So here we go. There we go. No. Try to take it over towards the vehicle assembly building, because there is a nice flat roof that we can try landing this thing on. Oh. Oh, come on! I'm losing it. Ah! Attach! So much for that. Okay. Oh, look at that! That is amazing! Look! They both merged together. The Sky Crane and the rover have merged together to form some new form of life. It's like a scrover. Look at the way that it moves! It's like Incredipede or something. This is bizarre. I'm not touching any keys here. Look at my roll, pitch, and yaw views in the corner. This is entirely moving on its own power. I have no idea where it's getting its power from. Like, the plates, so those square plates there, those were added in... those were recently added because while people were building things using the flat wing sections, they were able to build like buildings and things like that. Those did act as wings, which made it very hard to actually do useful things with them. But yeah, I think what's happened is these two objects, as I said, have merged into some sort of unholy union that is obviously going to mutate and take over the entire planet. Oh look, no, it's stopping now. No, is it coming back? They've merged, and I think their collision systems are getting all confused and they're freaking out. I'm wondering if maybe if I do time accelerate, they'll oh look, it's breakdancing now. Maybe if I do time acceleration, they'll pop apart or explode. Hopefully both. Time warp 2, time warp 3, time warp 4. No, that was actually pretty dull. Well, you know, time warp 4 usually makes all sorts of random things explode. Look at this thing! It's like spinning on a jet! This is awesome! I'm sorry, I want to be flying rockets and stuff, but this thing is so amazing to watch. Oh dear. Yeah, I've seen Incredipede is finally released apparently, and I don't know, wait a second. End flight. Let's try going to the vehicle assembly building. Yeah, so those panels can be used to build things. So yeah, what I want to do, I think, is I'm going to stick a parachute on the top here on a Sepatron thingy. That's the first thing. Let's try making this thing suitable for delivery to other planets. And I can't remember where anything is. I have actually looked over and found some more changes that aren't actually publicized pretty well. A bunch of the parts have been modified. The Rockomax decoupler has been decreased in mass, and now on the power front, the giant solar arrays, the Gigantor ones, those have been made heavier. Meanwhile, the radiothermal generators, those they had their power output nerfed a little, so it's a little, having tons of RTGs becomes less viable, and also having those giant Gigantor things, that's not so good either. So you're really kind of left, I don't know, it basically, as if ion engines weren't hard enough to work with, now you have even more power problems. So I don't know what they're thinking there. Oh, darn. Let's bring this up. So I think what we want to do is try to build a box around these things. I'm going to stick this. Yeah, that's good. That'll. No, actually, what we need is a bit of a girder segment. That's too long. Is that? Oh, maybe that'll work. Yeah. So now, where's the 2 meter panel? I can stick this in here. Ah. So now, if that's the right. Oh, that might just fit. Let's try it. Oh, look at this. We're building this box for this. Who needs fairing factor anymore? We have our own boxing system. I gotta figure out how to actually get it out of this box after the fact. There we go. Look at that. Isn't that marvelous? Okay, and yeah, how am I gonna make this detach? I kind of like it, but I want to be able to make things pop apart, and I don't think there's anything that actually makes sense in this context. Oh, you know what I can do? I can use linear radial decouplers. I can stick these on the side here. Look, radial decoupler. There we go. Look, if we stick those on there, this is totally not going to work. It's going to cause my thing to explode, I'll bet you. Oh, come on. I'll do one at each side. I'm going to do one at each side. Thank you. And then we're going to build another round of box. Box. And that's not going to work so well. We box in yellow box socks, as Dr. Seuss once said. Or rather, one of his stories mentions. Okay, so what we want to do is, there we go, attach that on there. No, and then rotate it. Yes. And then we can do Alt. Yes. Like we can stick that one on there. Hey, see, this is totally starting to look the part, and this thing will fall apart when I push the right button. Oh, actually, let's grab that. Okay, come on there. Nope, you're not going to go on there. You're going to go on there, aren't you? Yes, you will go on there. As I said, who needs fairing factor? We've got these things. So you can build. People that don't like the idea of like just sticking a rover on top of a spacecraft can kind of build something like this. There, look at that. And the thing will totally look the part, like for delivery purposes or whatever. I don't know. I don't really know what I'm doing right now, but I do know that generally, okay, I'm going to grab it with the Alt. Generally, spacecraft like this are launched inside a shroud or a fairing to make them more aerodynamic and protect the rocket from crazy aerodynamic problems. Okay, let's try sticking this on here. There we go. In the middle. There we go. Now we need to stick this in a rocket, and we can test the whole affair. So we need a booster. Solid rocket boosters are always awesome. One of the other things they changed was that sepatrons have been made more powerful. So actually, let's stick some sepatrons on this here. And we want it to kind of rotate outwards. Yeah, like that. I should have probably built this in symmetry mode, right? So that I don't don't waste my time. Actually, this should go up here, shouldn't it? Ah, come on, get on there. Get on there, damn it! There, that'll work. How can this not work? Oh yeah, it's asymmetric. That's how it cannot work. It cannot work in spectacular fashion. Yeah, I mean, that's the answer. To my question, how can this not work? And the correct answer is, it cannot work in spectacular fashion. And wouldn't it be... It's boring if everything works, really. Okay, so let's just check how this thing looks. We have these fire off. The parachute should not fire off. Okay, these should fire at the same time, right? Oh, wait a second. Oh, that booster needs to go down here. What is this thinking? Okay, so we have the booster, then the box things fire, then... Wait, but we need to also these are the radial decouplers? Radial decouplers, okay. Then there's a decoupler under there, and under there. Shoot, I've boxed myself in so I can't see which one's which. Ah, that is not ideal. I wonder if I can see it. Well, what's the worst that could happen? I could detach the wrong one. I think I'll stick this one down here, right? And then this one here. Actually, you know, I have a suspicion that this is the one that I want. Okay, that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do that. I'm totally gambling with my life here. Actually, I'm not gambling with anybody's life. Let's try this anyway. Rover and Sky Crane improved. Because this is so much better, right? Save and launch. So yeah, actually the new Sepatrons, what they've done is they've reduced the dry mass. That's the most important thing. So now it's vastly more viable to create like a Sepatron-driven rocket. Look at this thing. It's totally gonna pitch over before I get anywhere. I'm working with all my power to keep this thing vertical, but it doesn't want to. Now the question is, will it go all the way over before I run out of air? Or if this thing can stay airborne long enough? Nope, that's not going to happen, is it? And I guess we could try ditching this. Whoa! There, look, this thing's totally going to get out of there. Come on! Come on! Look, it's pulling it around. It's going to get more air. Nice. Okay, now what we need to do is... Well, I guess I could ditch that. Oh! Where is it? Oh, shoot! Oh, that's totally on its own. Oh, well. So much for that as a test mission. Let's see what else. That's going down with the rover still inside it. Yeah, it's stuck. What else? Oh, look, the parachute's coming down nicely. And this has... Oh, that survived pretty well as well. Well, it's not a total failure. Let's end flight. Let's go back to the vehicle assembly building. And honestly, I think what we do is we'll try launching this, and then we'll verify that the ignition sequence and everything happens correctly, right? So I'm going to take the main booster and stick it all the way up here, right? I mean, I know everyone's pointing out that there are mods to do all this stuff already, right? But I don't need the mod. I want to try building like a stock shroud. It's not aerodynamic yet. We shall work on that. So what I want to do is detach this. Nice. You see, that works. That's pretty cool. And those are solid, man. So wait a second. There's a Sepatron, and that's the one in there. So we need to detach what's underneath. Okay. And then we fire the parachute. Fire that Sepatron. And then... There, look! I totally got my staging order right. I just panicked. Okay. So now, let's try flying this somewhere. Let's try flying it over to the runway. With what fuel we have. Oh, something blew up. Of course it blew up. It's Kerbal's space program. Like, have you ever imagined... Can you imagine a mission in Kerbal's space program without things exploding? Yes, we are now going to fire this at the... Yeah, that didn't work. But we didn't spawn a mutant... lander, rover, crane, scrover thingy. Okay, so we're doing better. Let's go back to the vehicle assembly building and put some tail fins on this thing, so at least we can bring it up vertical. We're only testing this right now. I don't know where we're gonna go with this, but honestly, I'm just enjoying messing around for once without a real goal. Sometimes that is what's needed to make real art happen. Art. It's what we're here for, really, because, you know, people talk about the whole art versus science thing, but you know what? There's something I realize that's very profound, is that no matter where in the universe you go, science is always going to be the same, right? You know, people or whatever, little green men on distant planets, you're going to have the same laws of physics, mainly, as we do. They're going to have the same chemistry, the same, you know, same electrical laws. They'll probably have different names for things, but it'll all be the same. They'll rediscover it. But the art that they make will be absolutely unique to their little corner of the universe. Their culture is important. So, you know, science versus art. You know, you can make a really strong argument that art is vastly more significant than science. Of course, I would say, you know, that's a scientific argument, and if it isn't for science, you wouldn't have most of this art. So, you know, that's my approach. Okay, so now let's try this. Excellent. And now we want to have this thing... You know what we want to do? We want to turn this backwards. Excellent. It's fallen out. Aha! Excellent. Now fire the parachute. Look at this! This is like totally looking the part, isn't it? Except for the fact that it's not a particularly aerodynamic shroud, but totally we have this sky crane coming down looking like a complete pro. Now, of course, if we're doing this over Duna, the atmosphere will be too thin to actually do the complete descent thing. It will have to do its own... I mean, the whole point of the sky crane is that the parachute really only partly stops the descent. And so you ditch the parachute before you land and then use the sky crane for the last few seconds of flight. And we'll see how that works. I guess what we'll do is we'll imagine that we're coming down, and then at 1 kilometer we'll ditch the parachute, right? So that we're doing a simulated landing. So 2... 6, we want to ditch it before 500 meters, because after all, we risk tearing our spacecraft apart. Isn't that the usual fate of things which are descending through the atmosphere on a Kerbal parachute? They have to ask whether they stay together. Okay, ready, disengage. There we go. And then fire up the motors. Hey, excellent. Oh, excellent. Okay, so now we need to get down to the surface. And we need to do so without running out of fuel. Hey! Excellent! That totally looks the part. Okay, no, I want to see this thing! Come on! I switched! I pushed buttons to switch and you gave me the wrong darn thing. Curse you! Curse you, Kerbal Space Program sometimes. Oh, as much as I love you, I want to break you sometimes. Anyway, let's end this flight. Go to the tracking station and look at my little rover. This deployment actually like totally worked. I'm shocked. I am shocked. So we have a rover which turns. Now, important thing that many people have worked this out on their own. But let's just save this. Let's just actually brake. Actually, you know, if you apparently no. Nope, that doesn't work. No, yeah, never mind. Brakes. So if you save... So yeah, let's just show you now that I've done a quick save. We can start driving around, but... well, let's see, that's looking pretty good. But let's get up some real speed here. Let's see how stable that is. This is totally... Oh, it's working off electric charge just fine. 9.9 meters per second. I wonder... how fast this thing can go. That's not doing so bad. And yeah. Well, okay, this is not a great thing to demonstrate it on. What's that over? Is that the remains? That's probably the remains of the shroud. Man, it was a black box, and it is literally made of black box material, I think. I'm totally going to have to head over to this and check it out to see if this is the remains. What I was going to say is if you go into docking mode and you can switch between linear and rotation, right, using the spacebar, right? Well, in many rovers you'll find that they're unstable because when the rover keys are naturally mapped to the rotation keys. So that means when you're trying to turn in a rover, you're also trying to introduce a roll or a rotation in the vehicle, and sometimes those things can interact badly. So a recommendation from the pros, and I've not demonstrated the rolling over here, but recommendation is that if you're driving a rover, put it into docking mode and hit the and put it into translation mode, and you will be a whole lot happier and a whole lot less likely to roll over. Just remember, if you go flying off the side of a mountain and you need to correct your roll, you're going to have to switch back and forth. Man, this is going uphill with not the greatest amount of speed. Oh, what was that? I heard some weird noise there. 150 meters out. Oh, they've disappeared. Sky crane improved debris. I'm pretty sure that the only thing that could survive is those shrouds. Let me see. Yes, it looks like a couple of bits of metal. As I said, they should have made... This is what... Let's try it. Oh, yes! Excellent! We get a little ramp here. We can totally, like, pull some stunts of this thing. Let's see if we can, like, get it up on 2 wheels here. Ready? Hey! Excellent! Excellent. You know, what I should do, of course, is get out of this... Get back into staging mode so I can actually have some control of it. Okay. Oh, let's see. Is that it? Okay, let's get it right on there and try to hit it at maximum speed, and I'll roll it at the same time. No, it totally doesn't work. I'm hopeless. Well, that was entertaining. So yeah, let's go back and do some other stuff. We'll not end flight. Let's what do we want to resume flight? We want to break, and go back to the space center. We had this I had a thing the other day that I was building. Autosaved ship. Let's see if this works. Ah, no, that's not what was working. It was pointed out that Sepatrons have better thrust to mass ratio now, and I've been trying to figure out how to make them useful for, well, you know, breaking land speed records. But they tend to kind of not work very well right now. I'm sure there is some way I can improve on this, but until then, I shall continue to do other things. Actually, what I could do, let's go back to new. I'm going to build myself something useful. I want to take a little rocket thing. I'm going to build a little car. Remember I built a little glider? I think I can build myself like a little hang glider for a Kerbal. Or if not, I can build themselves maybe a rocket-powered glider or something like that. I don't know. Yeah, notice 0.375. Hallelujah. We are vast. This is so much better. Yeah, let's put the long one on there. Yeah, long one and a long one there. Okay, and then so we'll stick some wheels on. Nice wheels, and gotta get rotation on these. Excellent. Wheels. Excellent. So we have suspension. Now we need some RTGs, and we'll just stick these out the side. So each of these wheels needs one, so I guess I'm going to need at least 6, right? Maybe not. 6 should do fine. Well, let's add 8. How bad, you know, what could go wrong? Okay, so the next thing, we wanted to try and build this thing as a glider, and we want to try and perch a Kerbal on top of it. That was my grand plan. So let's turn this off. There we go. And that's totally not in the right area. And then we need to stick some wings on it. So we're going to basically have these wings hanging off the side, just like we did in the early video. This is really, I don't know, this should have been a live stream. I'm honestly thinking that this should have been a live stream, but... Okay, there we go. Like a butterfly, its wings opening up. And we'll give it a slight dihedral, slightly positive dihedral. That's maybe overdoing it a bit. That will increase stability somewhat. And then we want to rotate the wings up just a little so that they'll lift up immediately. No idea where the center of mass is. Not that it matters. Then we want to stick some ladders on there. And we need our old little foot standy thingy, also known as a, not a structural pilot, but a small hardpoint, which actually looks pretty big by these reckoning. No, there we go. So now we need to get our Kerbal up there from the command module. Oh yes, we also need a command. We'll need like a probe attached to this just to make sure. Yeah, that's looking good so far. So we need a ladder that goes up over the top somehow. And that means this. Stick that on there, rotate it around. Look at that. So it'll climb up, jump on there, and then we'll run it up to speed and then see if we can actually fly with the Kerbal on top. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just not feeling the space missions at this particular time. I'm feeling just the silly physics is fun. Oh, look, we got Bob. Okay. So Bob, you're going to climb up this. What do you mean you're afraid? Listen, Jebediah is not available, right? You're going to have to make do. Look, it's just like a minimal spacecraft. There you go. Get on board. There, excellent. So now, let's go for it. Oh, no, not you. No, you stay where you are. We're going to move this thing up to speed, and then we're going to switch. It's given me orbital speed instead. No, surface speed. We're not going 180 or whatever. How fast do these wheels go before they break? I've no idea. 90, let's get it above. Let's see how fast we can get it before it starts to roll one way or another. Could probably add Sepatrons to that. That would make it more fun, right? Ready? Go! Yay! Look at that. No. Okay, well that didn't work. But at least you're okay. Okay, so I guess the center of mass was a little far back, so I need to shift. We need to shift the wings forward a little, I guess. Or maybe back. I don't know. Let's just try shifting them around. And flight. Spaceplane hangar. We shall persevere with this design. Yeah, let's shift the wings slightly forwards a little. Because I don't know. Seriously, I'm trying to figure out, the mass is in the wings, but so is the lift, so I'm not really sure what will happen best. But I do want this to fly. Fly like a bird. Fly like an eagle soaring above the space center with its wings off. Okay, we're gonna grab something. Oh, look, that's even better. He just climbs over there. Let go. And then... Oh! Where'd he go? Hey! No! Oh, what'd you do that for? Ah! Yeah, that's right. That's what happens to you. Okay. Let's try this again. Restart flight. Maybe he'll do this without falling through the surface. Oh, it sounds like there's some white noise in there causing some trouble. Extend the ladder. Okay. Now we get out again. F, grab. Oh, excellent. You can just crawl from this to this. Now let's try again. Ah, look, he lands right there. Now we can... Oh, wait, he's going backwards. You do know what way is up, right? Okay, well, we're going to see what happens anyway. Look, we can fold this away just in case. Retract the ladder. Ready for launch! And getting up to speed. Let's just get up to 20. So yeah, you see what I mean by the roll, by the way? That we're naturally adding a roll in here regardless of the motion of the wheels. Okay, ready? Oh! Oh, no! Oh, I like that. Oh, there, the wheel's sitting there. Okay, let's hit the brakes. Oh! I'm okay. I'm totally okay. Now, how do I get back in? Oh, dear. Okay. Let's try this one more time. End flight, restart flight. I do have some better video of a hang glider. If I don't get this to work, I'll stick it on the end. Okay, EVA, EVA, EVA. Oh, it's the best thing in the world. No, what is it? No, it's the KPMG. Have anyone ever heard the corporate anthem KPMG? It's go and look it up on the internet. The KPMG is like a boring accounting firm, and yet they have like this theme song that was, really, fancy sounding. It's all inspirational. We're ruling the world with power and energy or whatever. It's hilarious. It's well worth looking. Also, talking about hilarious music, I've heard rather tragically that Sarah Brightman may not actually make it to the space station. Because of change of plans, what they might be doing is having the next flight, or the flight that she was going to go on, stay at the station for a month rather than a week, so that they can have like the astronaut, the spare seat, do some extra research. And if that's the case, then it means that she won't be able to go because they wouldn't qualify her for a month in space. A week is fine, but a month ain't so good. Okay, ready? Oh, no, he's definitely doing this again. This is like... Okay, that was not the way I mean, yes. Well, okay, so hang gliders are not really Kerbal things. Okay, that's me done like a half an hour of utterly pointless time wasting. So it's time to say, here's one I prepared earlier. I don't know why I've suddenly been obsessed by building hang gliders, but, anything involving Kerbals is actually kind of entertaining, especially if you see the expressions on their faces now. It's kind of hard to see from this angle, but I've really been enjoying putting them through all sorts of awful torture and watching them fly around and scream. This one worked rather well until it started pitching forward, and I thought by climbing backwards I could put some weight on the back there, but no, that didn't work. Instead, he just flies around. Now, we've added this, we've shifted the wings forward a little here. You see that we've made a kind of W-shaped wing. Again, getting up to about 20 meters per second. Ready for detach, and I need to edit this. There we go. Look, this one just flies straight up and then goes straight back and smashes into the ground. How entertaining. But, well, there's some interesting stuff going on. You see that one that's not quite sitting down? Well, that's nothing compared to the one that's on the runway that's practically standing like a monolith over the space center. It's like embedded itself in the runway. Yeah, again, this is the amazing aerodynamic physics, which will be updated someday, but as long as we can do funny things with it. Anyway, I will continue to work to bring you actually interesting material, probably using a lot of gratuitous re-entry shots, but until then, I am Scott Manley. Fly safe.